The Clone Wars TV show is my favorite piece of Star Wars media, and a large part of its brilliance is the way it fixes several of the problems from the prequels. A good example is how they turned Anakin from someone who was, let's just say, hard to love in the movies into the most likable character in the show. They didn't reinvent him at all, they just worked within the framework the movies established to flesh him out and grow his character in a more pleasant way. Clone Wars does this all the time, even in their very first episode, which is what I want to talk about today. So here's how the episode Ambush fixed Yoda. A common complaint about Yoda in the prequels is that he felt too far removed from the wise sage we see in The Empire Strikes Back. Instead of being the epitome of what a Jedi should be, a peacekeeper, he was more of a war general who does a ton of fighting instead of strategy or giving counsel to others. A lot of people obviously don't agree and really like this new Yoda, but I think the episode Ambush does a great job of finding a middle ground between these two camps. In short, it reconciles the warrior from the prequels with the wise, peaceful creature from the original trilogy. The episode follows Yoda as he leads a small group of clones in a fight against a battalion of battle droids as part of a bet with Ventress. And while Yoda does kick a lot of battle droid butt in this episode, he doesn't really go in guns blazing like he does in the prequels. He sort of seems above it all as he tells the clones that battles don't make one great and consistently uses his brains to overcome the odds, rather than just brute force. He also refuses to leave any of the clones behind, and tells them how much he values each of them, and even encourages them to look beyond their identity as mindless warriors and embrace their individuality. I don't know, I didn't go to military school, but I think that's the opposite of what you'd expect a war general to do. It really seems like he's just a monk who was thrown onto a battlefield one day, and happened to be really good at it, which I think is perfect for Yoda. Again, it's not about completely scrapping the Yoda from the movies, he's still a badass warrior, but they reshaped his personality within that context to make him much more likable and interesting as a character. It's a great episode, and I would highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. Thanks, that's all.